It's Storm Glaurung here, making a video really quick to show you some tips and tricks you can do with Ragnaros. And Ragnaros is a hero we've been seeing popping up in the meta pretty recently. He's been coming up a lot. I think he's really strong, and yeah, I'd just like to give you guys some tips and tricks. First of all, one thing that I do with the hotkey profile page on Ragnaros, I have a specific page for him, but the only thing I've altered is Blast Wave. For me, Alt E is an inconvenient input because it takes my thumb as well as my middle finger to press. So what I've done is I've rebound Alt plus E, the self-cast on my Blast Wave, I've rebound that to F. So the best way to do that is if you go into Hero Abilities underneath the Advanced Hotkey section, go to Self-Cast, and then where it says Alt-E as one key input for the ability, you can change it, and I like to change that to F in general. I do it with a lot of heroes and their defensive abilities, but it's really convenient. And then once you do that, you might have to rebind your map objective key, and I've rebound that to tilde. So to do that, you can go into Hero Management, I think. Map Mechanic Ability, and right here I've changed it from F to this key. So really quick, that wasn't super relevant to Ragnaros, but that's how I can super conveniently self-cast Blast Wave without thinking twice. This can be really useful in rotations, it can be really useful in repositioning in your lane, and things like that. And a couple other tips I have for stacking your level 1 quest. The power spike you get from finishing Sulphurous Hungers is pretty huge, so it is really important for you to put a large emphasis on finishing this quest early. However, it's never worth it to compromise your positioning to do so. If the enemy team in general has more than one player missing off of the map, sometimes 2 players, the way I've been positioning in this tri-mode lane, even if you haven't completed your quest, is fine. You want to make sure you safely get the experience while not putting yourself at risk. Now conversely, once the wave resets, I'm going to push it in here just so we can get a completely neutral minion wave. I can show you how to best stack on an uncontested wave. It doesn't have to be perfect either. You shouldn't aim to get 7 stacks a wave, I'd say. You should aim to get 3 or 4. What I generally like to do is aim for the wizard. Let me just refresh forts. I forgot I could do that. You want to aim for 4 stacks, roughly, per minion wave. And you can do it by staying towards the backside of your minion wave. Use your abilities quick. I like to start with a meteor on the back line, like so. And that's not enough to prep it. And in the early game, it won't kill the wizard. You can just proc Blast Wave and then Q after. And that's a consistent way to get 3 to 4 stacks on every wave. Wave position here, it should reset middle, and I can just do it in real time. But when the enemy team is off map, make sure you don't push up at all. And then the instant you know you have control, you can posture like so. Throw a couple auto attacks in wherever you need to. Just finish off the stacking process. And then, again, when it comes to globe collection, you can, with Ragnaros, because he's so strong in lane, sometimes posture for the double globe. When the globe the enemy wants to collect, it goes neutral. But, again, only when you know it's a 1v1. Because Ragnaros, he's very low mobility, it's really easy to gank him, and in a lot of situations, he can outclear opponents 1v1. His 2v1 potential isn't great until you start to reach late game. Alright, well that's the tips and tricks I have for his questing ability, and now I just want to talk a little bit about where you should position your body upon Molten Core usage. A lot of people, when they utilize Rag's passive, they don't take a ton of consideration into canceling the passive or the placement of your body upon going into the fort. And both of these things can be incredibly relevant and crucial depending on how the enemy team responds to your Molten Core. If the enemy team sees you Molten Core while they're sieging mid and you cast it from here, the wall can die and suddenly you come out in a really compromised position. So, for most scenarios, I use Molten Core to defend the enemy team sieging. I like to be at the max possible range from behind my fort. Right here would be optimal usage. And then once you're in Molten, this is the last little tip and trick I have. You can utilize your Meteor Shower. The slow it provides can guarantee your explosive rune hit as well as your sulfurous smash. So once you've actually gotten into Molten Core, it's really important to prioritize hitting your W. You can utilize the slow from your W to set up your other abilities. The ideal combo, you want to E anticipating their movement, W to slow them in the circle you've created, and then cast Sulfurous Smash off your W slow as well. In general, that's what I'd like to see. It's 2.8k at 20. It's a lot of damage. You can threaten one shot on a lot of squishies. Anyways, guys, it's been real fun sharing these things with you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave your feedback in the comments below on if you liked this style of content, what more content you'd like to see in the future. But thanks again. These were my tips and tricks for Ragnaros.